Oh, we are live. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome
Hello.
to You Don't Even Like This Show, a podcast about news, pop culture, information, technology, sports, phones. I guess that falls under technology.
That's technology, yeah.
Yeah, pop culture. I said that. Damn it. Oh, I am not doing well. Hey, I am your host, Adam Todd Brown. Joining me as co-host this week, my other favorite co-host of all, Jeff's here.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else that's seen productive. So nice to be here. I love being near Adam Todd Brown because I can stab him in the ribs with a pen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this would be the time to do it because me and Jeff are in the same room together.
We are proximal to each other, yeah.
Very, very gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all, honestly.
You know what's funny is the reason that this came about that we were doing it in person is because I think we were talking and I was just like, man, I really just like opening packs of cards and watching stuff and eating pizza with you. And we were like, we should probably do that.
We're going to get pizza after this?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I wouldn't say no to it. I had a dope breakfast burrito on the way here.
Not mad at that either.
The place subbed out the hash browns, added eggs, no upcharge.
Wow.
That's a protein explosion.
It's a lateral move at best, so there should be no upcharge. Wait, get those hash browns back in there. What's wrong with you?
I think it's an overrated addition. We've talked about
this. We've talked about this. So we're doing a Q&A episode. We normally put these behind the paywall. The most recent one with Jen Scott, I believe, is behind the paywall still. But sometimes, Dad has been traveling out of the country and is behind on work. And so we have to crank one of these out as just a regular episode.
I'll also add, you can't keep me behind the paywall on something like this. What are you doing? Premium,
of course not.
Premium content available for free for the masses.
Sure.
It's a little taste of what you can get if you head on over to patreon.com/unpops.
Patreon.com/unpops or youdon'tpod.supercast.com. A little more flexibility with your options over there.
Or Hitler.fart, which is like a super weird one to have done.
It's weird that we have so much of our content running through that app also. But, here we are.
Yeah, it's called being ahead of the curve. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Catch up, everybody. So we still got questions coming in hot and heavy.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing is typing right there.
Yeah. As we read this, the questions are all from the Discord. If you are a You Don't Even Like This Show listener or a You Don't Even Like Podcast Network listener, head to youdon'tshow.link/Discord and you can join our Discord and talk to other listeners. You can talk to me sometimes. If you say something that gets under my skin, I might jump in and
be a little sassy.
Hey, fuck you. Also, thanks for
I appreciate the money, you piece of shit.
Yeah, fucking asshole. So we got questions. We got cues.
We got cues for that A.
Yeah. So up first from the Discord, Professor Hulkington, if that is your real name.
It is.
Says, is whipped cream an instrument?
I think technically anything can be an instrument.
Yeah.
But it's more an avenue for drug or for whippets.
Yeah.
And a tasty, tasty treat.
It's a very tasty treat. I guess it could be an instrument. Like there's several sounds that you could make with either a can of whipped cream.
That could be something.
Like a dollop of whipped cream.
Yeah.
Just
like you put it in your palms and you squish it together. Like a
mukbang.
Yeah, you can make a mukbang out of it.
Yeah.
Were you guys Cool Whip or whipped cream when you were kids, when you were young?
I think my parents and grandparents were Cool Whip people.
Yeah, my mom was too. She would keep it in the freezer, and I would eat that shit like ice cream.
Yeah.
And it was a delight.
Yeah, Cool Whip or whipped cream and mayonnaise or
Miracle Whip.
Are the big debates. And if you fall on the Miracle Whip side of things, you are a psychopath.
I don't prefer it, but I do believe we did have it occasionally. My mom was mostly just like, if this is on sale, we're broke.
Yeah.
So whatever's on sale, we're getting.
Yeah. It's a little too tangy for my taste, a Miracle Whip, but to each their own.
I didn't necessarily invest in the flavor too much of the foods I was eating, just more the volume.
Yeah, sure. Ragged Company says sunflower seeds or gum.
Gum.
I am actually going to go sunflower seeds.
There it is. I mean, gum has, the thing is like sunflower seeds, you're going to get some shit in your teeth.
Of course.
So if you're in a scenario where you don't have floss, the gum is actually going to help. You might be able to get something out.
That's true.
You had Korean barbecue last night, got a little, beef in the taters there. You got to put a little orbit in there and you'll pull it out.
Yeah, one of my concerns with gum is I chewed nicotine gum for such a long time, and it kind of ruined me for other gum. There's a texture and a consistency to nicotine gum that no other gum comes close to matching. And any other gum, I just want to swallow it. Like I want to
Big League Chew. I will eat an entire pouch of Big League Chew.
Yeah, I just want to eat it like candy. I don't so much want to chew it like gum.
I like an Orbit Sweet Mint.
Yeah, I do lean more toward Orbit, Trident, stuff like that when I do go.
Sticks of gum that are held together like a pack of cigarettes. That's the kind of stuff I like there. Yeah, but also gum, sunflower seeds aren't going to improve your breath either.
No.
And if you get those like barbecue, David's sunflower seeds that are dusted with some weird spice, tasty.
David's Ranch sunflower seeds are one of the premier snacks in all the land.
That is a breath apocalypse right there.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. That ranch flavor, ooh, I don't know what ranch that is, but it's one I want to live on.
The Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yeah, it's real tasty. But I've also, about a year ago, I got into this gum called Neuro Gum, and it's got nootropics in it.
It's designed to make your brain more active.
Yeah. It's like Joe Rogan shit, probably.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind that. It gives you a little boost, but I don't know.
I only Gator Gum. That's the only.
I fucked with Gator Gum.
It was good. It was 18 chews. It was rock solid, but I loved those first 17.
Yeah, and they just got rid of Fruit Stripe. They're getting rid of Fruit Stripe, which that was a taste sensation that lasted about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But still.
The thing is everybody was like, they got rid of Fruit Stripe. And then I was like, when was the last time you bought Fruit Stripe gum? And they're like, I have not bought it in 17 years. I'm like, you cannot get upset about them getting rid of it.
Oh, I can get upset about them getting rid of it. I have bought Fruit Stripe gum, I'd say within the last year or so.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Stripes.
Yeah.
Fruit Stripe gum.
You can make it comes with temporary tattoos.
Oh man, those always looked like a crime happened on my arm when I would try that. El Celdo makes a good point too. Gum is a great way to prevent yourself from snacking if you're working.
And see, I feel the same way about sunflower seeds.
Yeah, that's fair. You get a little protein in there too.
And with sunflower seeds, it's so active. But I need 2 cups. I need a cup to put the sunflower seeds in my mouth, and then a cup to spit the shells in.
I would occasionally eat the shells.
Ooh, how'd that feel coming out?
I don't remember, so it was probably fine.
Yeah, must have been. Gross. That's gross, Jeff. All right. Full Metal Corgi, if that is your real name. Adam and Jeff, if you were forced to eat only fast food and from one chain for the rest of your life, which chain would it be?
Originally, I had an obvious answer.
Okay.
And it would have been Burger King. However, I'm going to change that answer so that I don't die at 46. And I'm going to pick, I don't know, Jimmy John's or
Why?
Subway or some kind of sandwich place. Like I need something where I'm just, because if I eat Burger King, I'm going to die.
I mean, you could eat, they have grilled chicken and shit like that.
Sure, they do, but
have to be all.
Give me a fast food place that has some form of a salad. So every once in a while I can.
Burger King has salads.
I mean,
Subway, you're just going to die of colon cancer. Like all those nitrates you're taking in. There's more to it than fat and calories.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that Burger King is not swinging with the nitrates. I mean, I love nitrates. I just sure do. I don't know. I thought about Burger King. Like that's my instinctive reaction. Then I was like, I don't know if that's going to be great for me.
Yeah, I am going to go with an out of left field pick and say Culver's, because Culver's has the best variety. They run the gamut from fish to burgers. You can get a pork tenderloin sandwich there. You can get a fruity ass salad like Jeff wants. Culver's, I think, would be the pick. They also maybe have the best fast food burgers. They just aren't in LA. So
Yeah, you'd have to move to answer that question.
no. Oh no, I'd have to leave LA. No. All right. Historically stupid. Jeff, why are you in here answering questions? It says if Jeff had to go teach again, what subject and grade level would he prefer?
I mean, I don't know. I liked teaching history. I loved my pop culture class. So, I certainly would like advanced high school kids. And also, I'm of the age now where people aren't going to side eye me for teaching high school. Like when I was in my 20s, and if, they'd be like, keep that guy away from teenage girls. And I'd be like, what the fuck, man? I didn't do anything.
I would still be like, keep that guy away from teenage girls.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed teaching 8th grade history. It was a lot of fun teaching about the Middle Ages. I would probably do something more of an advanced modern American.
All right. The Dan, if you had to make a sports team and all you knew is they would have to compete in a big sport, hockey, baseball, basketball, soccer, football, what athletes, living or dead, assumed to be competing in their prime for this team, would you put on the team? That's kind of a confusing question. Are we just
building a perfect team
just based on athletes?
I've got your answer right here. 11 Bruce Lees.
No, that's not bad.
Soccer.
I would do 9 Dan Cortez's.
Oh, Dan Cortezai.
Yeah, Dan Cortai.
I would have him if I had Burger King every day.
Yeah, I guess you'd want to put Jim Brown on the list. He was a very versatile athlete.
Oh, so you have to make the team, but then you don't know what big sport they're going to have to compete in later?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
LeBron James, for sure.
Yeah. Get a white guy in there in case hockey comes up.
Jim Thorpe.
He's not a white guy.
Oh, that's right.
Wow. This is called native erasure, Adam
yeah,
Todd Brown.
Yeah, I'm canceled. Holy shit. But Jim Thorpe still, like he was a multi-sport guy. Bo Jackson.
Yeah, you'd have to have Bo Jackson.
But what if you have to play basketball?
Deion Sanders.
Is Bo Jackson?
Deion Sanders.
Is Bo Jackson a basketball body?
He is if you're putting him down in the paint.
I guess.
He's got Barkley body. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I suppose.
Try moving him out of a defensive position. Imagine if he sets a pick on you.
Yeah. Brittany Griner.
So you can keep your salary cap low?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
So she's like, I have to compete in another fantasy team in a different space. Yeah, no, I'd have to say, I mean, it's Wade Boggs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Perfect from the WWF. Remember those vignettes where he'd throw a ball and catch it himself or he'd hit home runs? That's just there.
I just saw a clip of that again the other day. So great. All right. Rodney says to add on that one, Adam, if you had to teach school, what subject and ages? Oof. Yeah, it would have to be older kids. I'm not putting up the youth. So I think college. I think I'd have to go college.
That's much more frustrating than you'd think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But still, I'd feel less awful if I had to fucking haul off and punch a motherfucker.
Yeah. I like one of the reasons I really liked 8th grade is because they were still formative and you could still have like more like that influence of, hey, you still have 4 years of this. Maybe I can stop the bleeding. Whereas if you're teaching like juniors, you're like, hey man, you have 1 year to not fucking torpedo your existence.
Yeah. And I guess I would probably lean toward history in terms of what I would want to teach. What podcast app do you use? In parentheses, it says, I know you don't usually listen to podcasts, though. Google Podcasts is going away, and I need to find a new app. And it would be cool to get some podcast insiders' opinions. I really can't stress enough.
I listen to
podcast apps.
I listen to the outtakes.
Oh, yeah.
On Patreon. So I just use my Patreon app to listen to stuff. I'm on your Patreon. I'm on Gamefully Unemployed's Patreon. And it's mostly just me wanting to know what's going on the networks I'm on.
Yeah.
I upload to Spotify and Apple, and I'm sure there's other ones that I scheduled in there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't listen. I don't have a podcast app that I use. The one I think that I found the most user-friendly when I had to download them to test stuff, like to make sure,
it actually works. Yeah.
Our business is working. I think the one I remember liking the best was Podcast Republic. I think my wife uses Apple Podcasts.
I've had to research if I have a guest coming on, like Jeff has cool friends that has a podcast, I'll look up their show and give it a listen. And usually Spotify, but then Spotify hijacks my phone. And whenever I turn my car on, all of a sudden it'll just like I literally just on the way here, I turned my car on. I haven't used Spotify forever. And then just a Small Beans podcast showed up. And I was like, which is fine. But I was like, how did this even happen? Like I was listening to Pandora. I don't know why Spotify just decided to leapfrog and just volunteer a podcast for me.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Come on, Spotify. Get it together.
Get it together.
All right. Next question. Norm from Cheers.
Norm
says, who'd win in a fight? Tom Hardy in Warrior or Tom Hardy in The Dark Knight Rises?
I feel like I'd have to give it to Bane, right?
Yeah, I mean, Bane is...
He broke the bat.
Yeah, he is a fictional character with a whole lot of abilities that...
Could Tom Hardy in Warrior have done that plane scene in the beginning?
No.
Where he like ruins... Could he have choked Ben Mendelsohn out to death?
That, yeah, probably.
That's probably right. Yeah, that wouldn't have been hard.
But yeah, I'm going Bane, obviously.
Although, boy, is Warrior the better movie. Somebody who watches Batman for money, I can tell you Warrior has one of the best endings I've ever seen in movies.
It's a good movie.
If you're a dude looking for permission to have feelings, feel free to check out Warrior.
I think dudes have feelings. I feel like that's an internet myth.
Well, I'm giving those dudes that think that they don't have permission.
Oh, okay. Niccolo Blight says, if you could hit one person in the world and the only consequence is they get to hit you back, who would it be? And would it be an open hand slap or a punch?
I would Mortal Kombat uppercut Mitch McConnell's head right off.
See, I'd go Trump. I would just fucking wallop that orange motherfucker's face so hard with a closed fist. Absolutely. I don't care if he gets to hit me back.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely worth it.
It'd be funny if you were like Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Bob Grenville, 1991, brought the bizarre jingoistic cultural artifact that were Desert Storm trading cards. If you could break a box of trading cards from another historical event, which one would you choose? Well, I will throw a little spoiler out there. I've been sitting on a complete set of O.J. Simpson trial cards.
Yeah.
That I'm going to be unboxing.
You're going to do a get open on those.
A video soon. Beyond that, it's got to be 9/11, right?
The Osama bin Laden rookie card would be a tempting scenario. I feel like modern 9/11's too modern. You know,
Maybe.
like I want to go something I think a civil rights struggle like this, like that would be a fascinating division because you'd have to have like teams. So you'd have like your Martin Luther Kings and your Malcolm X, and then you'd have to have the bad guys,
which would be the FBI
and Martin Luther King and Malcolm. No, like that. I think that would be really interesting. I don't know. I think the Civil Rights Act trading cards would be a I mean, this is where my history degree is really coming out. Where I'm like, that would be a fascinating set of cards.
MK Ultra would be interesting. That would be a fun set.
Yeah. The Roswell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just want to know the truth.
Yeah. Jonestown.
It'd be funny if I was just like the making of Star Wars. Do you need more Star Wars cards?
Yeah, I think that's it. Malice at the Palace insert set.
Now that would be nice. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that in a box.
I'm surprised Topps Now didn't make one of those, huh?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Eric Germ. We love Eric Germ.
We love Eric Germ. Huge friggin' arms.
Someone recently said to you, you should really check this out. You'll love it. And you said, I'll add it to the list or something. What was the thing, band, song, movie, book, etc., you would supposedly love? And did you? If you didn't check out the thing yet, why not?
I'll only go with the positive, because I didn't check out a lot of things people have asked. The Bear, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Fargo. Those are two. I got into Fargo like season 2.
Yeah. For me, I recently took a trip to Central America, and I had a rough 2023 and just did not consume movies for the most part. So I needed advice on movies to watch on the very long flights that I was taking. And I reached out to Andy Sell for horror movie suggestions. And one of the movies he suggested was The Blackening.
Oh, it's delightful.
And my God, it's so good. The blackening is so fucking funny. It's so well done. God damn it, I loved it so much. So
It's like the Black Purge, basically. Is that
no, that's Meet the Blacks.
Meet the Blacks? Yeah.
The Blackening came out last year, and it's just a horror comedy with an all black cast.
Michael Jai White. That's the one where somebody was like tried to fight Michael Jai White at the red carpet premiere thing. That was like a big. It was like a big like scandal about who tried to fight Michael Jai White.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know anything about that.
Would have been a big mistake for whoever that was.
Yeah, but The Blackening was really good. Also, Influencer is another horror movie he suggested that was pretty great. And yeah, I think that's it.
Nice.
Danger recently mentioned a band called The Beaches, who I have still yet to check out, but he swears.
It's pronounced The Beaches.
He swears I will like them a lot. Malaclips 2 for both of you. What's your favorite weird social interaction that you've had with a listener/fan since you started podcasting? Or what kind of interaction do you wish you would get?
You want to go first or?
Well, there was that time I was outside a show on the Portugal the Man tour, and a listener just walked up and handed me $100. And
oh yeah, that's an all right.
I would take more interactions like that, like any day. Here's the thing: since it happened, it's kind of my thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's like people are starting to get the vibe to do that.
It's kind of like my new thing is, oh, give me $100. And so like when I'm on stage, like people so like, and I hate it. It's like, oh, stop. But people will just fold up $100 bills and chuck them at me. And it's like,
stay with it, folks.
Oh, it just tickles me pink every time. That did happen. Someone did.
Tickles your pink, if you know what I mean.
Someone did give me $100.
I would say, and I don't know if I've talked about this on this show, but when I was at DesignerCon, and I was at the Super 7 booth, and the guy working the booth freaked the fuck out on some dude that was there. That was like next to me buying stuff. He was like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And so I was like, oh, I'm glad this guy's getting this experience. And then later that dude walked by me, like the guy he geeked out on. And I stopped him and I was like, hey man, what was that all about? I would love to know why this guy freaked out. You know, what have you done that would cause that reaction? And he's like, oh, I did this. You know, I moved to Japan. I make toys and blah, blah, blah. I wrote this article. He's like, what do you do? And I was like, me, I talk about sports and Batman. And he's like, are you Jeff May? And I was like, that's a weird question. Yes. And he started freaking out. He started freaking the fuck out. And it was Corey Privatera, who you all might know as Science Patrol, the sofubi maker out of Japan. He's been on my show. He has been with us since episode 1.
Oh, wow.
And was like, oh my God. He started freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I never come out to America. I'm never back here. And I was here and I was like, I wonder if I can see them live. He's like, but you guys don't really have anything live and I wouldn't be able to get there. And I didn't, you know, I was like so bummed.
Yeah.
And it was like this like magical moment of me asking somebody why someone freaked out. And then their reaction was like a mild freak out.
Yeah.
And that to me was great. And he has since, you know, become like a good friend. He sent some cards from Japan. You know, he's just fucking best.
We should have had him on this show.
Yeah. What time is it in Japan?
Yeah.
What time is it in Japan? Like March? It is March.
I mean, it can be arranged.
Yeah, we should do something like that. But it was just one of those things where like it was there. And then the other day somebody tweeted at me and was like, did you just kick my ass in Marvel Snap? Because I have my @ as my name.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I've been listening for a long time. Did you beat the shit out of me in this game that randomly paired us together? And I was like, it would be weirder if that wasn't me using.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, like I appreciate any interaction with fans.
Yeah, we're not Taylor Swifty enough to have our anonymity be that valuable.
Yeah, the last live show I did on the road, we hung out and talked to people after. It was very nice.
Yeah, no, we're not particularly standoffish. As long as you're not rude to us or overly familiar in ways that are negative, we'll be your best friend.
And people rarely are. Sometimes
no, it happens,
usually
but it's
Twitter.
Yep.
Like it's not so much in person. All right. This is a heavy question. Here we go. A Blast says, you wake up stranded in Albuquerque. What do you do first? I tell you what I do first. I'm going to seek out some enchiladas.
Yeah,
Man, the food down there. Mwah!
I get a breakfast burrito.
Mhm.
I check Netflix, see if they have another game show going on, see if I can go on.
Sure.
I would hit up my ex and see how her marriage is doing.
I would not do that.
No, I mean, yeah, I wake up in Albuquerque. I don't know. I feel like I would just go to Rebel Donuts if they're still open.
Yeah.
And then go to the Albuquerque Sunport and find out how I can get home.
Yeah. The breakfast burrito is a good call because this is controversial. I've shared this opinion before. I don't like breakfast burritos that much, but I love them in Albuquerque.
In that green chili.
No, I prefer the red chili in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is a place in Burbank called Larry's.
Oh, yeah.
Their breakfast burrito, not only is it great, it's great specifically because of the green chili salsa on it. If you've never had it, oof, try it out. Try it out.
The breakfast burrito I had on the way here, by the way, had the bacon was diced, but there was also diced onions and green pepper in there, and it was surprisingly good.
No,
I would never ask for that on a burrito. When I bit in at first, I was like, what the fuck is it? And then I was like, oh, all right, actually, I fuck with it.
Yeah. I can't do onions in an application like that.
I get it.
No, thank you. All right. Pickle Visser Zorander, if that is your real name. What is your zombie apocalypse contingency plan?
To know Adams. Then you say you would just walk out like this and just be like, come and get me. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a for real thing, yeah, I'm not trying to fight and live with, especially if The Walking Dead is any indication. That's not the existence I want. Just hanging out, talking about your feelings.
Yeah, what's going on? The real monster is man.
Yeah, get out of here. But also, anytime zombies come up, it always reminds me of this time at Cracked when someone pitched an article about all the reasons why a zombie apocalypse wouldn't happen. And their whole argument was, well, I work in a cemetery and you put a cement slab over that and there's no way like zombies could get out. And it's like, no, the reason it couldn't happen is because zombies aren't real.
Yeah, that's
the actual answer is because it's not a thing that exists in the world.
Also, a zombie apocalypse isn't necessarily about exhuming the already dead. It's about the infection. Did you not? Oh, never mind. I was going to say, dude, did you not experience COVID? But also, it was way before COVID happened.
Way before COVID.
My contingency plan: A, get a gun. B, use it on myself and my family.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Or just my family, actually. Really missed it out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's just going to be dead weight keeping you down. All right, Gobu Killer. What is a show or other serialized content that you used to enjoy but have dropped from your viewing schedule due to the overabundance of options we have nowadays? We do have a lot of options. There's shows I need to catch up on that I just don't know if I ever will, like Barry. I love it.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm so behind on Barry.
Yeah.
For me, the big one is probably The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of those.
Andor I watched because people were like, hey, you're going to want to see this. It's not the same silly shit we've been seeing with Disney Star Wars. And I watched it and I was like, yes, this is what I want out of Star Wars. But all the other stuff is still like, there's a lightsaber. Isn't that crazy? I haven't watched Ahsoka. I haven't watched Mandalorian. I still love Star Wars, but also do I? Because I'm not keeping up.
Yeah. I can't think of, I mean, like
Marvel, Loki.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm way. I'm like,
that's like a perfect show too.
I'm like almost a decade behind on that show. I think that's what they get for having as many seasons as they do.
Yeah, it's like they're on like 22 seasons or something like that. Yeah.
What am I made of free time?
But God, every time I watch a new season, I'm always like, they must have lost it by now. And then you watch it, and you're like, nah, they still got it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't still be on if they were just blowing it every week.
Well, I mean, people say that about The Simpsons.
I mean,
but I still think The Simpsons is pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't watched it in a long time, but The Simpsons, I'm sure, is still very funny. Oliver Ballin, is there a reboot/remake you enjoyed?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, there've been several.
Jumanji
was good.
Jumanji is like S tier. How about The Thing? How about 1982's The Thing?
I always advocate for the House of Wax remake with Paris Hilton in it.
I'm also going to add another one of Adam's always advocating for, Vacation.
Ooh, the
Adam,
Vacation.
Yeah,
remake.
you forgot about the Vacation remake for a second.
Oh, that is arguably the most underrated reboot. It's so good.
Dune.
Dune.
Dude, I mean, let's stay topical, folks. Dune. Yeah, I mean, I'm not as adamantly against reboots as some other people are. A lot of people that I know, some people, they're good friends, but like the idea of, I remember when they were teasing that Big Trouble in Little China reboot and everybody was losing their minds. And I'm like, I have huge news for you about the original movie. It is still going to exist.
Yeah.
After this reboot. Shut the fuck up, you whiny piece of trash.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I never saw the Ghostbusters reboot, but I was never mad at it. Like in either case, the all female cast or the Paul Rudd. I've never seen either of those.
The all female cast I was really hoping for. I was pulling for it. It wasn't great. I don't know why everybody, like, people were like, Afterlife was bad. I watched it. I was like, I kind of like it. El Celdo saying in the semantics point that the first Rock Jumanji was a sequel, not a reboot. It is a soft reboot that gave a nod to the original. It's fine.
How could you do this, Jeff?
Because
I'm
bigger and stronger than them. And I will do what I want. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. So
I suppose that's true.
I guess you could cancel yourself. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
No, as a matter of fact, sign up for more things.
Polypan Aki says, what happened to the From/Lost cast? You got me addicted to both. It's a combination of things. One, no one listened to it, which really takes the wind out of a person's sails when they're considering launching into season 2. We made it public and it just there wasn't that much interest in it.
Yeah, it's like doing a Game of Thrones cast, maybe. People just are like, yeah, it happened and it was a phenomenon and I guess I'm over it.
Yeah. And also, Olivia has a job as a projectionist at a boutique movie theater in the Valley and not as much free time.
No, that's what happens when people get real jobs.
Yeah. So,
good for her for getting a job.
And that's also, awesome. God, I do so many podcasts.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
paring it down a little bit.
Yeah. Some stuff's going to have to fall by the wayside.
Sorry. I mean, I think the big thing to acknowledge, and we do acknowledge this, is every podcast is somebody's favorite. It's just the practicality of being able to do that. And also, like, making a podcast costs money and our time, which is even harder to handle than money. Like a 1-hour podcast that you guys get to listen to, unless it's like a Q&A.
Sure.
A 1-hour podcast, that's like 4 hours of work minimum.
Yeah.
Just getting that ready. So it's like, how do you find the time to do all that?
And I'm just now getting to the point where technology is making it easier to produce podcasts. AI has come for podcast editors. That's for sure. But I edit my own podcast, so I'm fine with AI taking that job away from me. But that's a very recent development. And I don't know that I'm going to use that extra time and invest it into making more podcasts. I want to do like other stuff.
It's not that podcasting doesn't make us happy. It's just you have to do other things.
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah.
El Celdo says, if you had to pick one region to stay in, if politics or finances didn't exist, where would you go? The South, Southwest, Pacific Northwest, New England, Midwest, Great Lakes, or whatever they call the Dakotas, Montana, the plains. I guess California, Texas, and Florida are their own thing. I don't know. I'm Canadian.
If politics or finances didn't exist, because that's pretty weighted, like Texas is an attractive concept, but guns still exist if politics doesn't. I might go to the Pacific Northwest.
I was going to also say Pacific Northwest.
I've never been.
Oh, you've never been?
I've never been.
I've been to Seattle and I've been to Eugene, Oregon, and I really like the climate. I like the way the air feels in the Pacific Northwest. Although I'm also not mad at California.
I mean, it is in of itself almost an entire coast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we're 2 hours from every climate.
Like I talk about how much I would love to leave LA all the time, but then I think about it and I'm like, man, the weather, the weed, God, it's nice.
Jeffrey
Jeff's here.
here.
Yeah, Jeff, I guess. Yeah, so I guess maybe I do want to leave. This asshole. Woo! The Midwest is nice too, except no, it's not. It's the cost of living is nice, but the weather is there's no happy medium. It's either construction season, in which case it's 90 and humid, or it's winter. There's not really a fall. I mean, well, there is now because of global warming and people.
Yeah.
Like that.
There's a fall. It's just winter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, there's also like New England is great depending on when you go. If you go to New England in like October.
Yeah.
Late September, early October, that's fucking delightful.
Yeah, that's the thing. My ideal choice would be jump around, like House of Pain. Jump around.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good.
Thank you.
That was a great Everlast impression.
But yeah, because like in that case, I would do like New York in the fall is enchanting. It's so nice. Like even
New York State in the fall, right? You don't mean New York City, do you?
No, I mean New York City.
I remember when I was there in October of 2019 for my New York Comic Con panel, and I was walking to the convention center. I don't know why, but there were like mounds of trash the entire way. And I was like, is this normal or are they on strike? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But
big city living.
Yeah, but no, New York, especially once you get into early winter around Christmas and stuff, oof, New York's nice. It's really nice.
I do like a nice winter's night.
And they're pretty in New York. So pretty. The nights. The people are fucking hideous monsters who all still chain smoke. Mike Scorpio, what's the worst restaurant experience you've had as a customer? As a worker, if you ever did work in food service. I did work in food service. It's hard to say what my worst experience would be. There was a basketball tournament in town once, and I worked at Subway. And this guy, he was clearly from New York. He had a thick New York accent. And I don't know if he just couldn't read or what, but he walks up and he's like, "Can I get a sub, please?" And I was like, "You are at Subway. There is a menu behind you with so many options." And I didn't say it like that. I was just like, "Oh, there's like
lots of options. What do you want?" Yeah.
Off the menu. And this motherfucker goes, "Just make me a fucking sub, all right?" And I was like, "I'm going to slit your fucking throat."
Yeah.
Is what's going to happen. And I was working with someone, shout out to Destiny. She like jumped in and
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. She murdered that guy.
Beat him with a padlock on a rope.
Yeah. Working with the public sucks. I also had a guy who he ordered a hamburger and they made him a cheeseburger. And instead of coming back up and going, "Excuse me, you messed up my order," he chewed it up and spit it into the drain of the soda machine. This is an adult man, like in his probably 30s, 40s. People are great. People are fucking great.
I worked in food service at a retirement home. I was like a waiter at a retirement home. So low pay, no tips. Early job. I spilled pasta primavera all over my boss on my second day. That part was awesome.
That's great.
Worst experience I've had as a customer. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the worst. Like I've had bad food before, but like for some reason, you know that place, I really like the new deal with the meatloaf sandwich.
Oh, sure.
The past 2 times I've come, the meatloaf has been like McDonald's patty thin.
Oh.
And I thought, I was like, oh, they must have changed like the amount or whatever. Like it was kind of a bummer the first time. The second time I went with my friend Danny Palumbo because he's leaving LA and he like, "I want to try this." And he got one that was like super thick and mine came also super thin. And I literally called the waiter over. I'm like, this feels like it's on purpose at this point in time. Like, does somebody recognize my order and hate me?
Yeah. Probably.
You know, like I'm adding an egg. Nobody else does that. So to like fuck over the egg and meatloaf sandwich guy. But I was like, why is it was like legitimately like his was like set like probably 2 to 3 inches thick, and mine was maybe like 3/4 of an inch thick. And I told the guy, I was like, look, I'm not necessarily mad. I just really want to know what is happening with this. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. And then he just charged me full price for the whole thing anyway. And I was like, I feel like you probably should have done something a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't expect free stuff, but you should at least be like, hey, we'll fix that for you. We'll get you one that you can actually be satisfied with. But instead, he was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. We'll look into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll be $33 for that sandwich.
I guess my quick one in terms of worst experience as a customer, I went through a Carl's Jr. drive-through and I ordered a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, and somehow they heard Southwest chicken sandwich, and I got so far away from the store before I pulled it out and realized what had happened.
How was that sandwich?
I didn't fucking eat it. It had guacamole all over it.
Could have been good. I don't know. But if you don't like guacamole, it wouldn't have been, I guess.
No. Not my thing. Baron 5X, Eddie E. Would you and Jeff ever consider going on that new late show after midnight? I have to admit, I've kind of imagined seeing you and other regulars on there killing it.
Yes.
What is after midnight?
It's what At Midnight used to be, but now Taylor Tomlinson hosts it, and it's on network TV. And the answer to that is yes, because that is money and exposure. And those are two things that are good for us because we are very independent.
Yeah, I would absolutely go on that. Also, as someone who doesn't even like sports, I like listening to you talk about sports. I wouldn't be opposed to more of that on the audio feed, like with the Super Bowl weekend. Okay.
Yeah. What do we do on Super Bowl weekend? I know we did a break, right?
Yeah. I think I did put the post Super Bowl show in the audio.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Dave T, if you could delete one band or musical act from history so no one remembers them or acknowledges their existence, who would it be and why? Twist, you would remember the act.
Isn't this just that Beatles movie?
Seems like it.
I would make the Beatles movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean,
I would do that with a shitty band.
Yeah.
Not shitty, but I would love to do a Frankie Goes to Hollywood version of that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you guys don't know about Relax. And then I sing it and they'd be like, is that about cum? And I'd be like, it's a little about cum.
Yeah. System of a Down.
Yeah. I mean, they were the first ones when 9/11 happened. Do you remember when 9/11 happened and Serge Tankian's like, yeah, well, how did you not see this coming?
Yeah. Yeah. And people got mad.
People got so mad at him for knowing the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was like a band you could just delete out of spite, is there a band you hate enough that you would just want
Kiss
gone?
I would actually like Gene Simmons to be removed from the Fame platform.
Yeah.
Because that I feel like a lot of women would be protected if Gene Simmons was no longer in play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd go like Ted Nugent, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I didn't really thought about that. Yeah, I didn't think about Kid Rock.
Eminem would be a funny one to just delete from history.
Yeah, because what other white guy are you going to try to elevate?
Yeah, exactly. Get MC Search the exposure he deserved. Chris Murphy, what is your favorite obscure historical event? For example, I'd pick the Pig War or the War of Jenkins' Ear. Obscure historical event.
I like that one where the emus went to war with the Australian military and won.
Oh, yeah.
I like that Queen Theodora convinced Justinian to stand up against the Nika revolt. And the reason why is because she had previously been a sex worker. And
nerd.
And was like,
nerd.
I ain't letting that happen. She's like, I'd rather die than leave this throne. And then they squashed the revolt and then ended up like having another like 37 years of reign.
Nerd. Yeah. I don't know. I think the church committee hearings are a fascinating moment in history that we've all kind of as a country just chosen to forget.
Which ones again?
The church committee hearings. See, that is when in the mid 70s, the American intelligence community was taken to task for things like MK Ultra and planning political assassinations and things of the like. And it's the point in history when the CIA should have changed, but they really didn't. They just were. That's where the idea that the CIA can't operate on American soil comes from. is the church committee hearings. And by then they didn't need to, like we have 16 fucking intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
So the church committee hearings, that's mine.
I would like to say just in the comments, El Celdo talking about the restaurant things, because I was at a Brazilian steakhouse and they had people dancing around the tables and one guy tried a backflip, landed on our table, flipping it over. It was hilarious, but messy, and we ate for free.
Yeah.
I would.
It's supposed to be bad.
Yeah, I would have said that was literally the best experience I've ever had in a restaurant.
Yeah. I'm just like seeing it in my head and I fucking love
Yeah,
it.
I'm imagining this guy doing a flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like really feeling sexy about it and stuff. Like he's really getting into it. He's got that Brazilian swag. He does a flip and just shatters his kneecaps.
Also, what a risky place to do a backflip. There are skewers galore.
Skewers and open flames, if I recall. Yeah.
Ooh, I love a Brazilian steakhouse, though.
Yeah, I do too.
There's one in downtown Burbank where they charge you by the weight of your plate. You just go through it like a buffet.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Let me at them.
I'll bring a nice little soft styrofoam plate. Switch it out.
All right.
El Celdo.
El Celdo says, what's the dumbest thing you've seen at a sports game? I once saw a visiting hockey team dress a forward as a goalie because they didn't bring a backup with them on a road trip. What?
That is a Canadian ass thing to say.
Dumbest thing I've seen at a sports game.
I was at a Patriots game where Tom Brady caught a touchdown, but because he wasn't declared eligible or something, it ended up being a penalty instead.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like cool looking. And then it immediately was like, oh, yeah, you actually cannot do that.
Yeah, the Bears during Devin Hester's prime ran a play where Devin Hester signaled for a fair catch, but the ball was actually nowhere near him. It was going to Johnny Knox on the other side of the field. But because he was Devin Hester, people were like, oh, well, Devin Hester's about to catch the ball. So the entire defense ran toward him, and then Johnny Knox just caught it and returned it for a touchdown.
That's awesome.
And it got called back for like illegal formation or something stupid.
Oh, like a tic-tac penalty that wasn't related to him.
And then they never ran that play again.
Oh, that's a one-time play. That's a play you come up with for 7 points.
Yeah.
And that's it. You get 7 points out of that entire play.
It was so damn cool. I also once saw a guy throw a beer at me and miss and hit a baby.
Hit a baby. Yeah, I do remember that.
Dodgers game.
I watched Jock Jones whiff on a Tim Wakefield knuckleball so hard that he tried to fight me in the stands because I was heckling him for it.
Dickless Ruth Tater says if you could live on a 10 by 10 foot island with one other person or a 10 by 10 mile island completely alone, which would you choose?
I feel like I would die and have to eat the person on the 10 by 10 foot island. That's way too small.
Yeah.
I would have to be on the giant island completely alone.
I mean, I'm married, so I can't.
You're going to have to eat your wife.
The empty island. So yeah, I'm going to go 10 by 10 foot island. And then, yeah, we just fight to see who eats.
A 10 by 10 foot island. That is a Looney Tunes deserted island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is.
Yeah. I don't know that either of us would want that.
I feel like Angie's like, take the 10 by 10 mile island. Free me.
Yeah. 10 by 10. That's small. Is this room?
This room is a little longer than that, but
yeah.
I would say our direction is about maybe 12 feet.
Oof. Yeah. No thanks. That's bad times. Nerd numbers. If that is your real name. Jeff mocked this already, but a table at Fox City's card show in Appleton, Wisconsin is $50 a table and happens once every few months. Ever consider a card show through the Midwest?
No.
Why?
Just transporting all of our stuff would be a nightmare.
I mean,
you're going to carry on all the cards you're going to try to sell, or are you going to pack them and trust the baggage handlers at LAX?
Yeah, that's true. Getting the cards.
Like we'd have to rent like an Aerostar and like literally we'd have to be like those convention guys. We'd have to be professional card dealers to make that. And it would, I can't imagine we'd make much money off of that, right?
Let's be convention guys.
Let's just be legends and do it, man.
Exactly. YTP renewed. So I've heard some complaining from hosts and guests about Los Angeles. Is there anything about this or there other jobs for which living in Los Angeles is a competitive advantage that outweighs the downsides of living in Los Angeles?
Yes, there are massive competitive advantages. I mean, I got on a game show because I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I met Adam because I live in Los Angeles. So that's one of the reasons to move.
Yeah, it has its advantages. It has its disadvantages. Like you can make the most out of almost wherever you are.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need to move to LA. I mostly moved to LA for health insurance, but I am glad I moved to LA. I definitely got a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten if I wasn't in LA. It definitely helped with comedy, although it has also become kind of a hindrance.
It's a financial hindrance, but a talent booster.
Yeah. It's in terms of doing comedy, I'd rather be in New York because it's just so much easier to get around. You can do multiple shows in one night.
And you could be more garbage on the street, Adam, because you're garbage.
Yeah.
Because you're a piece of garbage.
I mean, LA still has more rats than New York. People always want to give New York credit for being the rattiest city. Nah, they're 3 behind Chicago and LA.
Remember that rat that we had right outside in Chicago, right outside of our Airbnb? Like he had the keys to the Airbnb.
Probably did. YTP Renewed also asks, would you consider filming your reaction to a particular TV show episode for a fee?
Those last 3 questions, those last 3 words really bumped that up.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
For a fee? Yes, absolutely we would, because
yeah. What do you got?
Because money is hard.
Money is hard to come by, and I could use more of it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I have on my Patreon, I have a thing where I'm like, look, if you pay me enough money, I will do a podcast with you if you want. Like, I'll do whatever you want for a certain amount of money.
And I think that's all our questions. Did we have any questions from I
didn't see any in the chat because I think we said in the beginning that they're only on the Discord. So I think people decided not to add any in the chat.
Well, fine.
But
that's fine.
You know, if there are, I mean, I guess we could say, hey, if any of you are in the chat right now and you want to ask a question, we'll give you a couple of minutes while we're sort of. So it seems like YTP Renewed wants us to watch a Sonic X martial arts tournament, the Japanese version. That would be one interesting reaction video.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do a thing on the What in the World podcast where we would watch foreign sports and react to them. And that would be a thing we could do on the sports pod.
You don't even like foreign sports.
Because I think we only did it once and it was good, but you know.
Ben said, can I add one? Dude, we just were saying, Adam, add one.
Add one.
And one. Remember and one t-shirts where they were like, sorry I dunked on you and stole your girl, and the guy didn't even have a face.
Yes.
I'm like, I lost my girl to a guy without a face.
Yeah, that would be so embarrassing.
Oh my god. And one guy, what are you doing? Get out of my wife's DMs.
Right.
Come on, you already beat me.
Get a face.
You already beat me in street basketball, you faceless homunculus. What are you doing to me? Austin B is asking what our breakfast cereal preference is.
You know what I just bought the other day for the first time in a long time?
A gun.
Yes. Also, Life cereal.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
It's a real curveball. It's a real like mature decision.
Well, when I used to work at Cracked, the break room there was legendary.
Oh, I would used to steal a lot of food from that place. Yeah.
Which that's down to Demand Media. That's not Cracked's responsibility. And Life cereal was a thing they always had on stock. And I ate it all the time there. So I got kind of burned out. And the other day I was like, Life.
It's the delicate sweetness.
Yeah. It's such a light sweetness. I like that in a cereal. I like Life. I like Kix.
Kix is kid tested and mother approved.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You take that with what you can.
I fuck with a Kix. I like a Honey Nut Cheerios.
That is the most popular cereal in America.
That tracks. It deserves it. It's so good.
I have 1, 2, 3 answers to that. One is my child answer, which is Count Chocula.
Sure.
Count Chocula it's so overboard. It's so good. A great ice cream topping. Count Chocula is a phenomenal ice cream topping. I have my old man choice, which is the yellow box of Nabisco shredded wheat. That's the one that's like the big fucking biscuit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the Pop-Tart size biscuit you have to break up and shit. That with a little honey drizzled on it and like fucking ice cold milk
Yeah.
is a delight. And that kind of matches up with the whole I'm eating a bale of hay, but it's slightly sweet.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna have no problem shitting for the next 3 days, kind of a scenario. And then hey, I'm 42 and I'm in LA. Magic Spoon has some delightful flavors, except peanut butter. Peanut butter tastes like
is the peanut butter one bad?
Tastes like the devil's asshole.
Oh, because that's one I was wanting to try. It's gonna order it.
The fruit flavor is great.
Really
The chocolate flavor is great. You can try the peanut butter. I tried it. The person that I tried it with, we both were like, this was suggested to us and it wasn't great. But they have really, really cool stuff. And I found out, how like YouTube videos, they'll do ad reads and Magic Spoon does like ad reads. If you do those, they like ply you with free, like as much as you want.
Oh, we should get in on that.
You got to get in on that.
Yeah, because Magic Spoon, the one drawback, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
cereal.
It's not cheap, but it is.
And you get like a bowl and a half per box.
Yeah.
Also, El Celdo, he says frosted mini wheats is my jam, and that's fine. But no milk. Milk's gross.
You're pouring apple juice in there?
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you?
A nice V8.
Yeah.
Pouring a nice room temp V8 in the old frosted mini wheats to get you through.
I've said it a million times. I stan milk as a standalone treat. I fucking love milk. I drink a glass of milk literally every morning.
Yeah,
I take vitamins and I take them with milk.
I don't mind dairy milk. Oat milk is good. It's higher in calories, which is fine, whatever. But I don't mind dairy milk.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like most milks, if I'm being 100% honest, like decent almond milk, because I mostly am only having milk with cereal or something like that, or a nice PB&J.
Yeah. Yeah, milk's good with a PB&J.
He said dry. You are an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, do you live on a hiking trail? Why are you eating dry cereal?
Do you live on a farm, but in a pen? Do you live in a pen on a farm?
Is someone tossing?
Are you getting somebody sowing frosted mini wheats at you? It seems like the people in the chat seem to not like moisture around their cereal. There are several people that are like, I don't want soggy ass cereal. You people are absolute psychopaths.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, how hard are you nursing your cereal that it's like it doesn't stay crispy at all?
Trail mix.
Yeah.
Just eating it out of the box with your hand.
Oh, this took a turn.
Oh my! I understand maybe those cereal bars. Remember when they would sell you could get like a cereal bar in the candy aisle because it's garbage?
Right.
Austin asking if PB&J the best non-meat sandwich? That or eggs?
Yeah, an egg sandwich.
But I do eat a PB&J probably every other day.
I go in spurts. I haven't eaten one in a while, but I do. I like a PB&J. I was at a thing. It was a burn booth thing I was doing with Keith Carey and Connor McSpadden. And we were on a college campus in Santa Cruz. And the food that they brought for this production was not great. And at one point, a guy just walked through the crowd selling ice cold PB&J sandwiches.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I bought like 6 and we fucking threw down on those.
Nice.
Ice cold PB&J. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I will go in the opposite direction for you as well. I have had a grilled PB&J where you make the PB&J, you butter it up, and then you put it on the skillet.
Sure.
Delightful.
Yeah. My wife likes a toasted PB&J.
Yeah.
You know what I'm toasting is a tuna sandwich.
Oh yeah. Tuna sandwich is a quality toast.
Toast that bread, but keep the tuna cold.
Tuna cold, the bread toasted, but not so hard that it's like a tough bite.
Right.
You have to make it like a soft toast, like a medium cook.
And then a little Swiss, a little lettuce, a little salt and pepper.
You lost me on the Swiss, but I'm with you with all the other stuff.
No.
Do you make when you make tuna salad, do you put anything in it or is it just like tuna and mayo?
I'm a tuna, mayo, salt and pepper.
Or like a little celery in there and also sweet relish. Small
Yeah.
amount of sweet relish in there really elevates the tuna fish.
Yeah, I'm really basic when it comes to tuna.
You're a basic bitch.
Yeah, I guess
And
so.
the standard bitch.
Well, I guess this is how I thought the podcast would end.
This is actually a nice finish.
Yeah, this is fun. This is nice.
I do like a PB&J. Look, do you remember? Okay, I've been talking about this with someone before. Remember that article that came out that was like an infographic, basically, that was like every hot dog you eat takes like 37 minutes of quality lifetime off of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we all knew that. I didn't need you to write that down.
Yeah, that's a fair trade.
And that was all over the internet, right? Everybody was talking about it. Nobody, not a damn person brought up the fact that on the other end, PB&J like added 33 minutes.
Wow.
And first off, I'm like, you need to qualify what you mean by a PB&J, because if you're doing Welch's grape, Jif peanut butter, and Sunbeam white bread, I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah, that's a lot of corn syrup.
But I will tell you that I do a nice, like a natural peanut butter. I get just the Costco natural, just a regular standard peanut butter, no sugar added, nothing.
I like a crunchy.
Don't hate a crunchy.
Yeah,
it's just
I prefer a crunchy.
Yep. And then I use Bon Maman natural preserves.
Mm-hmm.
You know the ones. Sell them at Costco in like a big jar. Like the jar's like that big. It's like $10.
Yeah, my wife gets our preserves from Trader Joe's.
Yeah. I get some at the farmer's market, but they can get a little pricey.
They have a blueberry at Trader Joe's. Come on.
And then, if you do like a whole grain wheat or something like that, that's a hearty, healthy sandwich.
Yeah, I don't love a PB&J on wheat. I feel like that because you can get a whole grain white these days. Dave's Killer Bee, he makes a whole grain.
I like Dave does a good job.
Dave makes a good bread.
A good ex-con making a good bread.
Yeah. I like that he leans into the ex-con thing by calling it Dave's Killer Bread. Yeah. Even though he was probably in for like tax fraud or something.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen like a short documentary about him, and it's a fascinating story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Dave Crosby.
Is it called 12 seed? The one in the green.
I like the green.
Ooh, that makes a good toast.
That
makes a good
that
toast.
makes a great PB&J. I have done PB&J specifically on that bread, and it is delightful.
I guess I could see it. Oh, Dave's Killer Bread. This podcast is not brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread,
but it could be brought to you by Magic Spoon if the people at Magic Spoon want to participate and send us some boxes.
I feel like I could get us a Magic Spoon hookup if we wanted it, but
we do want it.
We do want it. We do, or just send us some cereal.
Yeah, you all should send us Magic Spoon.
Yeah,
send us Magic Spoon. Send us money, $100 crisp $100 bills.
Love a $100 bill.
Sports cards. Send us sports cards. You could send us accolades on whatever you're listening to this on. If you're watching this on YouTube, accolade the shit out of us on YouTube. If you're on the Apple Tunes, is that what it's called now?
Yeah. Tell me you like my sweatshirt. Give me those. Look at it's got a little astronaut on it. See that?
He gets plenty of ass, so call him an astronaut. And then compliment my t-shirt.
No.
Come on.
No.
Good.
Don't. It
is good. It's called Backpack. Is the name of the shirt. It's by Alex Party.
Shut up.
They're bomb full of Malta. Ooh, Malta meal. Remember that?
I love Malta meal.
Like a Malta meal.
I have bought Malta meal in recent years.
They did a s'mores, Malta meal s'mores.
Oh, see, I like the chocolate. Malta meal or cream of wheat. Either way, it's deadly.
I love me some cream of wheat. Oh, I like cream of wheat.
I like that it forms like, it's almost like weed in that there's like buds and there's shake. And like they both, like you bite into one of those buds.
Some grit in a cream of wheat.
Yeah. And it's going to like still be scalding hot 45 minutes into that bowl of cream of wheat.
Oh, I grew up on cream of wheat. Yeah, my grandmother would make cream of wheat sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, this is exactly the shit I'm talking about.
I love cream of wheat so much. God.
Cream of wheat. I haven't thought of cream of wheat. Because also, by the way, think about coming up with that name now. Imagine if you invented a food now and it was called cream of wheat. That has to be an ancient food. That has to be right when the FDA was created. And they were like, all right, we got to come up with a name. People are going to know what this is. Cream of wheat. If somebody did that now, first off, you'd vomit immediately.
Yeah.
Cream of wheat is something that's codified in our DNA for us to accept. Our parents and our parents' parents have known about it. So we've had to accept it. It's like when monkeys wash fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know where you figured that out. Good for you.
Good monkeys.
I used to eat grape nuts every morning when I was a fighter.
I do I don't mind grape nuts either.
Those people that make hot grape nuts. That's like a popular thing. You put the milk in and then you put it in the microwave. unhinged.
Yeah. Yeah, I like a healthy cereal in general. I fuck with a Special K.
Oh, Special K is
But Special K will low key destroy your teeth.
Like, it's a rice flake, right? I mean,
there's bits in it that are like harder than other cereal.
Remember Basic 4? Basic 4, it was like it would have 4. I think it was like there was like raisins, almond slivers, a corn flake, and then like a rice something.
I liked Crispix.
Crispix was one of my favorite cereals of all time.
Do they still make Crispix?
They sure do.
Oh,
remember Double Dip Crunch, where they took a Crispix and they just coated it with.
Oh, sure. I like a Crispix with a teaspoon of sugar on top.
I think Crispix is good the way it is. It has that Kix flavoring to it, that like sweetness that I really like.
I like that I keep trying to get out of this cereal discussion.
I'm okay with that.
Pulling me back in.
I do you remember graham checks?
Yeah.
Graham checks were great. They had little pieces of graham cracker in there.
Yeah. Golden grams.
And golden graham. That was my dad's favorite cereal. Grams. I'm not a big like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a bit much for me.
Yeah, it's a heavy flavor. And I don't like a cinnamon life. I like life, but I don't like a cinnamon life, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
All right. Now we really should get out of here.
Yeah, we got, who knows what we got going on next. So
yeah, I don't know. What do we got going on next? Hey, thank you for doing the pod, everyone except Jeff.
Oh.
What do we have to plug before we get out of here? You don't pod.supercast.com. Go there to subscribe to bonus episodes. You'll get a notification if you want to watch this show live as we record it. This was just, subscribers who got this. So that's cool.
Live subbing.
So yeah, that's where most of the Patreon still exists, but there's only one level. It's a long story. So yeah, you don't pod.supercast.com. Go there and subscribe to bonus stuff. And I'll have other things going on soon. Jeff, what about you?
You can head on over to patreon.com/Jeff May for early access to uncensored episodes of Jeff Has Cool Friends and Nerd with Dre Alvarez, plus exclusives like Ugh Fine with Kim Crawl, which dropped today. Someone in the comments said it's their favorite episode. I do a live show with this jabroni every Wednesday at 4:00 in the afternoon called You Don't Even Like Sports Live, but you can check that out. You can also, I have a YouTube. It's at Hey There Jeffro, same as my social medias. It's awesome. I open non-sports cards, and with Adam, I open sports cards. So that's fun.
False.
Tom and Jeff watch Batman on the Gamefully Unemployed Network. And of course, Mint on Card is the second Friday of every month at Blast from the Past in beautiful Magnolia in Burbank, California.
All right. Let's get the hell out of here. Jeff, say goodbye.
You get all these cereals rookie card, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
Gem Mint Crunch.
Live stream.
Gem Mint Crunch would be a great name for a cereal.
It would. Shaped like baseball cards.